What's up, everybody? I'm just hanging out underneath my truck. I got a lot of requests to do this video. It's for Assateague Island, driving on the beach. So I'm going to start out underneath my truck. It's kind of weird, and then we're going to go from there. Anyway, first thing up is clearance, ground clearance. If you see it, how high up mine is, I'm going to roll over, and I'm going to show you my wife's car. How low hers is. So ground clearance is one of the major things that makes it easier to drive on the beach so you won't get stuck. I'll cover that more in a minute. I'm going to start heading out to Assateague, and then I'll show you what we do. First place we stop at is Your Store Market. It's right here. It's inside the Shell gas station. Here's 113, Food Lions across the street. Assateague is straight in front of me. Go in here and get a cold cut Italian sub. It's the greatest thing ever. Trust me, you're gonna love it. So Ashley and I are gonna go get ours, and then we're gonna head out to Assateague. Look at that, it feels like a brick.
That looks so good.
Yeah, it's really, really good. All right, we're gonna head out to Assateague now, and then we're gonna eat our lunch. Another place that we like to stop before we get out there is Assateague Market. They have bagged firewood here. We'll go over the firewood laws later, but here's the market. They've got everything you can drink out there, so you can get your beer and wine out over here. They have bait for fishing. They have fishing tackle. Good selection of stuff too. So this is one of those, if you're on the way and you accidentally forgot something, check them out, because they'll hook you up pretty good. So we're gonna head out there now, and I'll show you how to get the pass. Right here, it goes to the state park. We're gonna go to the right, that's the federal park, and that's where the OSV side is. You can't screw it up, you just drive straight to the end, literally twice. The first one, you'll get into the guard shack, you'll run right into it, where you pay your fee, and then after that, you just keep going straight all the way to the end. Coming up is the guard booth. To get onto Assateague, the federal side, there's two fees you have to pay. One's for Assateague and then one's for the OSV. So you do need two of them. If you're a veteran, you get in for free. So make sure you bring your card to show that you're a veteran. But there is I think it's a weekly rate.
It's a weekly rate and a yearly rate.
And a yearly. It's not too expensive. You might want to check the Park Service website. I don't want to give exact numbers. I want to say it's like,
it's gone up since last year, so it used to be like 20 bucks, and now I don't know, it could be like 25. It's right here. Whoa.
Oh, we got a little line going today. So while we wait our turn, there's two visitor centers to Assateague. This is the one that's going on the federal side of the island. The other visitor center is before you get on the island. This is the one where you have to go get your pass. You can get it online, or you can go inside. I prefer to go inside. I think it's easier. I get my sticker right then and there. I can put it on my truck. I've got it right there, and then I'm ready to go. So that's definitely, I would definitely suggest going there instead of online and waiting for it, or getting, I don't know how they do it. I'm sure it's like some type of temp pass, or I don't know. But yeah, I would go in there. I'd get it. It's easier. And then from there, we'll show you where to go. Ashley just looked it up. This is the 2023 pricing. So yeah. 7 days is 25.
Yeah, for your private vehicle. A motorcycle is 20. If you walk in.
Walking or biking, it's free.
Mm-hmm. But it's like a 3-mile bike ride from the front center to here.
Yeah.
That's what I think that we.
Yeah, I think that's what we clocked it at before.
And then your annual pass is 45.
Okay. And the OSV, there's two passes you can get. The bullpen, that's if you have a camper in the back of your truck. That one, I can't remember the price on that one. I think it's like $140, $150, somewhere in there. Don't quote me on it. I'll put a link to their website to show the prices. And I think for the regular pass, it's $110. On this main road, all we're going to do is take it to the end. I've done other videos. Another one of basically all of Assateague Island, state and federal, of all these little side roads and what goes on down there and what you can do, campsites and all that stuff. But this one, I'm just going to stick strictly to driving on the beach. Again, if you want to see that video, I'll put a link down below. But we just drive to the end. There's a roundabout or a rotary, I guess. I don't know.
A roundabout.
Whatever part of the country you're from. Some people call it different, but we call it a roundabout here. We go to the end and then just follow the signs to OSV. Slight traffic. The horses are in the road up there. They have people that ride around on golf carts and try to like shoo the horses away. But there's a whole bunch of them up there, and they're trying to get them off the road.
They say they spray them with water or they shake stuff that's like loud, but I wouldn't do it unless you're part of the Pony Express.
No, absolutely not.
People get bit and kicked all the time, and these things are mean.
Yes.
I'm scared of them.
Yeah.
Because I've been charged. They're not listening.
No. We were riding our bikes here one day, and we went to pass them. We were on the main entrance by the beginning, and the Pony Express people were out here trying to shoo them away, and they were like, oh, don't worry, you're good, just go right past them. And one of our kids went to go by, and the horse like went to back up, like to pretty much kick him.
Up.
Yeah,
he was like gonna rear up. Yeah,
we were like, oh crap, like trying to get our kid away from the horse.
I've been charged on the beach because all these people were around a mom horse and her baby, and she got like really upset.
Yeah,
people are rude,
and they get aggressive towards food too. So it definitely, yeah, if you're camping, they tell you to put your food away. On the beach, I see them every now and again. I wouldn't really say I see them.
Sorry, they're like...
Yeah, two at a U-turn back into the road.
They're beautiful to look at, but keep your distance and be respectful.
Yeah, it says you have to keep back from them. They do bite and they do kick, so just be very careful. There's a lady, yeah. There's a lady behind us taking exactly pictures. That's what we're talking about. And they're telling her to get out of the way because she's going to get kicked. But here they come. You're blocking traffic. Anyway, we're back on track. Here's the very end. Here's the roundabout. There's a parking lot right here if you want to walk to the beach across over this way. But you're going to take your second right, and that goes to OSV. And it does say, overstand vehicle, you have to have a permit, all that stuff. It's all right here. Purchase a permit at the ranger station. $110 for the regular one. What was the other one? $200?
Yeah. Oh.
Another horse over here.
Yeah.
We're going to deflate the tires now. I put my tires down to... they recommend doing it down to 15 PSI. I never go that low. I think I did it once and it was really uncomfortable hitting bumps and stuff. I don't want to pop the bead on the tire. So I usually go between 20 and 22 PSI. That's pretty much standard for what I've done. The tire deflators that I use are these automatic ones. I just screw them in and they'll deflate. You can also use like a truck key or a car key or something else, but before I head out there, there's a list of rules right here that you'll see. It says that all vehicles must display their permit. All vehicles must be legal for highway use. Four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicles are recommended. With that said, that covers the clearance that I'm about to go over. You can bring a two-wheel drive vehicle out here. Do I recommend it? Absolutely not. But you can. You got to carry a shovel, a jack support, tire gauge, tow device. All that stuff is specific. Like the shovel has to be a flathead shovel. But pretty much I'll put a link down below of what to do for that. Lower the tire pressure to 20 PSI or less. I just covered that. I usually go between 20 and 22, as you can see.
If there is an emergency, you have to call
20 or 22. Yeah, and the other thing is, yeah, if there is an emergency, you have to call 911.
If you need to report a violation, it's a different number, but...
Yeah. We'll go over that, too, of cases where we've ran into... We have not specifically, but we've had to call 911 before for people. But pretty much pets, they got to be on a leash, no fireworks, no driving in the dunes. You can have alcoholic beverages, they cannot be glass.
Oh! Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Small beach fires are permitted below the high tide line and 100 feet from all vegetation. Extinguish all the fires with water. So
no alcohol containers in your vehicle or in truck beds.
Yes,
Open.
Yeah,
well,
you
no,
cannot
open.
be drinking and driving.
Well, the cast of Toughen Up is over here giving themselves a beer bath.
So So here's the front gate. It's going to have a counter right here on the right. It says 145 vehicle limit. Over the years, it's changed quite a bit. It used to not open until a car would come off and then you were allowed on if it was maxed out at 145. What we've seen in the past is right here where they've done all this work, where they leave the gate up and you can park at the top of the dunes and then a ranger will sit there. It's so that the line doesn't overflow back into the roundabout area. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to hit my 4-wheel drive, and then we're going to start going. I just made it onto the sand now from the crushed shell from the entrance. This is always the worst part to drive up. That's coming and going. It's usually where the sand is the softest. You can see all the ruts and stuff out here. What I like to do is just stay in the ruts that I'm in until I get a little bit further down the beach, and then I'll kind of shift around a little bit. And sometimes, like right now, it gets really, really bumpy. So we're going to head down here for a little bit, kind of get out of the way of some of the other cars, and then we'll go over the things that we do. It's still pretty bumpy, but I just wanted to bring up for if you've only done this a couple times or it's your first time, it does get a little bit nerve-wracking just because you're driving on the sand. You don't want to get stuck, and there's obviously, like right over here, there's deep ruts. You'll get used to it after a while. It does take a couple times. Half the time, I don't even put my hands on the steering wheel because the truck pretty much follows itself like a carnival ride. Just take your time. Speed limit's 25. Definitely don't go over that. Not going to mention anything, but they will give you a ticket. So, yeah, don't do it. But yeah, it's pretty much just you'll get used to driving it after a couple times. And there are spots usually by the bullpen area, which is like a couple miles down that way. That's usually right where it gets really soft, and then after that it gets pretty soft. But if you're just looking to drive out and you're new to doing it, I would suggest like staying in this way. Along the way to the end, I think to the end is the end, I call it the end, it's the state line, it's the Virginia state line. It's about, I think like 12.2 miles. Along the way, you'll see different signs for campsites. Tingles, Green Run, I think Buntings is another one. A couple different names. But those are pretty much, you have to reserve them. You can't just come out here and decide you want to go camping. They have to be reserved. You have to go through the Park Service to reserve them and reserve your site. And same thing with camping on the beach. You cannot camp on the beach. The only place that you can camp on the beach is behind us, where there's designated campsites. Again, you got to reserve it through the Park Service. If you have a bullpen and you're going to park and sleep in the camper of your truck, there's a specific designated section for that. You can't just pull up over here and park on the beach and sleep. Regarding the rules for it, after, I believe, at night and early morning, you cannot be sleeping on the beach, and you have to be actively fishing. So they pretty much, they don't want you falling asleep on the beach. The tide comes up, your truck or car goes out in the ocean, stuff like that. For this video, a big shout out to Sarah. We met her the other day. She's a subscriber, and she was mentioned doing this video. I've had a couple other people request it too. I just couldn't really figure out like how to do it, or I don't know, like what to say, or like things that we do when we come out here. So definitely after talking with Sarah, it helped me out a lot to help me make this video. If you have one that you want us to do, just let us know, and I'll try to come up with some way of how to do it. Well, I won't. Ashley will, right?
Yeah, amazing.
Ashley will tell me how to do it, and then
exactly.
And then we'll go do it.
Yes, that's 100% true.
So we're still coming down. I still haven't put my other hand on the wheel yet, so just keep going. Once we get up here, I'm going to cover clearance and why the clearance is so important, and also why deflating the tires is so important. Every time I come out here, I watch the waves for fishing, and this is like a perfect spot. So we've reached the bullpen. Here's the sign right here. It says overnight parking for self-contained units only. Those are the truck campers, and it's all in this section right here. It's all roped off, and it goes all the way down. I'd say it's like a couple football fields long. Plenty of room. And this is where I would say, if you're new to this, I would pretty much turn around here. You can keep going if you want, if you're comfortable with it. If you're not, I would not go further. Usually in the summertime, this is where a lot of the deeper ruts start from all these truck campers and heavier trucks and stuff like that. So beyond this, you'll see the sand will start to get a little bit looser. So I'm right at the very far edge of the bullpen. That's the sign right there. And the other one's down there. So all this section you can camp in if you have a truck camper. And this is what I'm talking about with the sand, where everybody pulls out and it turns into big ruts like this. So again, like I said, it's all based on comfort. Tire deflating is extremely, extremely important. Some people say they don't do it. I always believe in it. It's better to do it and not get stuck than to just wing it and say, yeah, okay, let me try it. So what happens is the surface area of the tire kind of, it flattens and it makes it wider, so you get wider traction on the tires. So it helps you from getting stuck. Clearance is the #1 thing that a lot of people don't think about or talk about. So this is what I'm going to show you, and why I brought it up in the beginning of the video, of why it's so important to have clearance. So look underneath. And this is with flat sand under there. If you don't have flat sand and you got big ruts, you need a higher clearance and you won't get stuck. That plastic weather guard up front. And like I said, these ruts, they're tiny. They're not deep at all. So what happens is, when you're going along and your car or truck sits lower and those guards are hitting down, you start to push the sand as you go. You'll feel your vehicle kind of like driving straight, and then you'll feel the front end kind of dip a little bit, and you'll start slowing down. You'll maintain the same pressure on the gas pedal, but your car will start slowing down. That means you're getting stuck. So if you are to get stuck, the first thing that I do, as soon as I feel myself, I will stop, immediately stop. Try to reverse and back out and try to get on different tracks. In my truck, I've never gotten stuck. In Ashley's car, I've gotten stuck a couple times. Worst case, if I do get stuck, I will try to find dead horseshoe crabs, shells, anything like that, and try to put it underneath the tires and try to back out. And usually that does a trick. Horseshoe crabs are like my main trick to get myself out. If you're really stuck and you can't get out, the rangers are not going to help you, and nobody out here is really going to tow you out. It's more so to protect their vehicle and probably yours too, just in case it's hooked up wrong transmission too, trying to pull another car. So you will have to call a tow truck. If you call the ranger station, they will recommend a tow company. Any tow prices that I've heard is like $800 to $1,600. I mean, they're expensive. So I have seen cars get stuck out here before. You can see over here, there's really deep ruts. But I have seen cars get stuck out here before. Ashley and I saw one time. He was stuck. He was not too far from us, and we walked down to try to help him, and it turned out he didn't air down. So his dad was yelling at him, "I told you so." And the kid was saying, "Well, I've never done it in the past." But yeah, we told him, you got to deflate the tires, back out. That's what he did. It worked out fine. So other than that, we're going to keep going. We're going to give you some other tips and tricks of what we do and things that we do out here that we carry with us, so that you can come out here and do the same thing. So pretty much I made it out to the bullpen, went through all that stuff. I'm going to start driving back, and then we're going to kind of go over all the other stuff that we like to do. One of them is firewood. When I brought up at Assateague Market, you can't bring out-of-state firewood. It has to be in-state, and it's due to like pest control and stuff like that. So there's plenty of places along the way to Assateague where you can stop and you can get firewood to burn out here. With that said, if you want to start a fire, a campfire out here, it's got to be below the tide line. You'll see the tide line right over here. It's got to be down below. Once you're done with it, extinguish the fire, make sure it's out, and just leave it. And the tide will kind of take it like back out to sea. The reason you don't want to bury it is because other people could drive over it and pop their tires, not see it, stuff like that. So yeah, below the tide line. So tide line right here is pretty much right up here. Just pay attention to it and you'll see where it goes up to.
Well, speaking of the tide in the water, there's no lifeguards out here.
Yes.
So make sure you check the conditions, and if the ocean's angry, do not get in.
Yeah, that is a really good one.
Because we've had tons of people get caught in riptides and they don't even know how to ride the riptides, and then by the time the federal police even get out here, or someone can even get to you.
Ashley, what, you had to call 911
Yeah.
once because someone got stuck in one.
And he didn't know how to fight it.
And
he
everyone
was
was
trying to fight against it, and we were like,
you got to swim
Parallel.
parallel, left and right, not going all the way out into the ocean and back. Swim parallel with the.
but I couldn't even get a hold of them. I had to go all the way to the end and try the Pony Express and have them radio.
We had saw a surfer out here one time, cut off like the chunk of his foot.
Mm-hmm.
I had to call 911 for that one too.
Yeah, there was that one kid that got caught in a riptide too, and I had to grab him.
Yeah. So yeah, if you do need an emergency, you do have to call 911.
But just make sure you pay attention. If there's rip currents that weekend, just
be careful.
watch out before you come out here.
Yeah. Another one too is the flies. The flies out here can get nasty, and they look like little black house flies.
Yes,
And
they
they-
are not whatever they're
Horse
called.
flies.
Those
Horse flies are
different.
like the green heads that like really leave a welt and bite. These things feel like little tiny like pin pricks almost, and they're annoying and they hurt.
Nothing will make me leave a beach quicker than them.
You have to look at the wind. Pay attention to the wind. It's a west wind that will push the flies out here. So if you ever see a west wind, I would suggest not even coming out here. What we use, if you really want to, like if it's a northwest, whatever type of wind where it's not like too bad, we'll use this type of bug spray. And this is the one that we found that works the best. If you use any of like the outdoor, like DEET, like full control stuff, any other stuff, it doesn't work. You can try to use like organic oils and stuff, that doesn't work either. This stuff, I would not spray it on your clothes if it has ink, because the ink will bleed. But from what we found, this will pretty much, it's 98% DEET. So that's the one that we found works the best for us.
The OSV website.
Oh yeah, osvcount.com. That will give you a current count. It'll give you the tide, high tide, low tide, all that, incoming, outgoing tide. I use that for fishing. It's really good for fishing. It also tells the wind direction too.
And it tells you the flies.
And the fly count too. So it'll tell you 5 out of 5 means that they're really bad. To be honest, I really wouldn't even come out here. It's not worth it. It's miserable.
Unless I guess you're on vacation and it's your last day. And
Yeah.
You're not gonna have another chance then.
Right. Or if you just feel like driving and not getting out. The other thing too that the OSV count is, obviously it tells the count of the cars. It's self-reporting, so it's not always up to date or current, but it gives you a general guideline so that you can kind of see before you get out here, so you know you kind of have like a rough figure of who's going to be out here at what time and all that.
True. The other thing that it'll tell you is, I don't know if you said this, how far the beach is open, because in the summertime when the birds are nesting, they cut the beach down.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
So that's always interesting to know, because then you'll know how close you are to other people if it's like not open all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And during that time too, you can't fly kites, where normally you can fly kites.
Right, yeah. Whenever the plovers are nesting or the birds, you can't fly kites near them so that you won't disturb them. I always have a grill and some charcoal. You can grill out here. If we're not going to grill, we'll stop at the Your Store Market like we did, and we'll get subs and come out here. If we are going to grill, then I bring my regular grill, and I have charcoal with it, and then we have a bin that we always keep packed so that we can just grab the entire bin and go. It's got utensils, plates. I've got horseshoes in there so that I use them as basically paperweights to keep all the plates from blowing around. My grill utensils I got from the dollar store. I highly suggest that.
Yes.
Just super cheap stuff that if it ever gets
Paper
damaged.
towels.
Yeah, paper towels, plenty of trash bags.
Yes.
The reason why, if we ever see trash, we try to pick it up too if someone leaves it behind. At the very beginning, there's a dumpster. You can throw all your trash out there. What other stuff do we keep in there? Lighter fluid, extra lighter.
Yes. Cups.
Cups, hand sanitizer. That's pretty much.
I think that's pretty much everything.
Yeah. As far as things that we like to bring for convenience, we bring a 10 by 10 pop-up tent. That way, if we want to get into the shade for a little bit, we also use it as like a clothes dryer too sometimes for the kids.
Yeah.
And then we have a portable camp shower that we'll bring. This has been sort of a lifesaver for us, but we use it as a pee tent. So we basically dig a hole in the sand and can use it as a pee tent instead of going out into the dunes or.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, also we bring a portable speaker a lot of times.
Yep, portable speaker.
And we usually bring like a camping table that has like cup holders in it.
Yeah.
It helps for like the kids when they want to put some food out.
I want to believe I got it at like Bass Pro or something. I can't remember. It's a little fold up like camping table. It's real tiny. It's got cup holders on it, but I think it was like $15. It wasn't much, but that was really convenient.
We also always make sure that we bring additional snacks after the one time that we got trapped on the island.
Yeah. So.
And I recommend everybody doing that because you never know what's going to happen.
Especially if you have kids, bring extra snacks. You're going to need them. There was a time that we came out here. We were supposed to do a quick trip out here. I brought a grill. I didn't even really plan on cooking anything. I don't know. I threw it in. I figured, well, if we're going to do it, then we're going to. If the kids get hungry, I'll just kind of grill something fast. They ended up getting hungry, so we grilled something real quick. Got in the truck to leave, and we made it out. I was almost out of the state park, and no, we were filling up our tires.
We were a little bit further back, yeah.
And a lady came out to us and was like, good luck, you're going to be here a while. And we were like, what are you talking about? And she said that there was a head-on collision right near the Your Store Market, and they had shut down the road and the bridge. And we sat here for almost 2 hours. Nobody could get on or off the island. So that was a big...
I had to change diapers.
Yeah, the kids were tiny. That was rough. But thankfully, we brought enough food, and the kids were fed. After that incident, we said that we will never come out here without bringing snacks or something, just in case that happens again, because it was pretty bad.
It wasn't. I mean, it could have been worse.
It could have been way worse.
Complaining because
And thankfully, the people that crashed, they were both okay.
Yes,
it wasn't
which is more important.
Yeah,
I mean,
way more important than us sitting in traffic.
Right.
So. Another thing that we do is we always bring a change of clothes for the kids, even for yourself if you want. If you're going to be all wet and you have to drive back, it's not too fun. Another thing that we like to bring is a baby powder or a paintbrush, and that will get the sand off your feet and off of you before you get into your car or truck to drive back.
And then when you get back, make sure you hose your car off.
Absolutely.
And if you did bring camping stuff, hose that off because the sand will rust everything.
Yes. If we have friends or family that want to come out here and if they're here for a little while and we continuously keep coming out here for a week, I will run my truck through the car wash at least once or twice. Get the undercarriage of the truck. When I get home, every single time I hose off my truck, the salt air and the sand will completely rust everything. Beach chairs, all of it. So we definitely try to keep it as clean as we can just to preserve our stuff. And I would say that's pretty much it. Extra sunscreen. I mean, we're leaving. When you get up to the front, there's a place that you can fill up your tires. Doesn't cost anything. Definitely have a tire gauge with you so you can fill them up to what they're supposed to be. And that's it.
Oh, and throw out your trash.
Yep, throw out your trash. There's a recycling thing over there too. So it's pretty simple. Like I said, if you're new to this, there's no need to go all the way to the end. I would definitely get used to driving it if you're uncomfortable with it. I have had people tell me on some of my other videos, like, oh, they bought a pass and then they tried it and they were like, it was just super nerve-wracking. And it can be. It definitely can be. Especially right here where it slopes down so much, or there's times where by KM 21, the high tide comes up, and if you don't hit it right, you could get stuck on that side. So, I mean, it's It's all based on comfort level. You do what's comfortable for you. If you don't want to go to the end, don't go to the end. It's
really not worth it.
It's going to be here a while. Trust me, you got more opportunities to do it. So that's it. I hope you like it. I hope this helps. And yeah, we'll probably see you out here. If you see us, say hi.
Definitely.
Right by the entrance right now. These are the pumps to fill up your tire. They have trash bins right here. The recycle is right over there. One thing I did want to mention, the Rangers do patrol out here, and they actively patrol, especially in the summer. They patrol a lot. And the main thing that they're looking for is passes, to make sure that you have your pass. If you don't have one, it's a pretty big fine. I think it's a couple $100, and then they kick you off. The other thing that they'll look for too is safety equipment. You have to have the safety equipment that they describe. And if you don't have that, you're going to get kicked off too. So.
And a fine.
And
I've actually had one of the park rangers ask to sit in the car to look at the back of it because people were peeling them off and sticking them.
Oh,
and because I had residue, they thought that I had a peeled, people were peeling them off and using them in each other stuff.
What, the stickers?
Yes, I had a park ranger open the door and look at the back of mine.
Oh.
Because people were peeling those off.
Oh.
And sharing them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I got stopped before because on the front of the sticker, it tells the date of the expiration. They're good for a year, and they never gave me the month, and it was just a blank sticker. And he came up and he was pretty much asking where I got the pass, and I told him, and I said, is there an issue or a problem? He's like, yeah, you don't have a month on there. I said, well, that's how they gave it to me. I just figured they might have switched it or something, but luckily in my glove box, I keep the receipt that I paid for it. So just in case there's ever an issue with the sticker or anything like that, my receipt's in there. So always good to keep it. But all right, we're out of here, headed home.